Hello and welcome to this month's webinar entitled Water Wonders, the Importance of Hydration on Physical Performance, Healthy Aging, and Feeling Great. As always, this is Gary Sams, the Chief Wellness Officer for Ebix Benefits Administration and Wellness, and I'm happy to be with you here this month to talk about a very important topic, and that is staying hydrated and the importance of water. Today in our brief session, I want to cover a few main things for you to consider when it comes to proper hydration and the importance of water. First, why is water so important to our health and vitality? I'm going to give you 10 top reasons to drink water. We're going to briefly talk about how much water we actually need, and you'll find that that's different for different people. What are the signs of dehydration? How can you recognize that you're not getting enough water? And finally, what is the best for staying hydrated? What's the best drink for you? So let's go ahead and get started. First, why is water so important to our health and vitality? Well, as you probably know, we are made mostly of water. And water, of course, is one of the essential elements of life. Just like the air that we breathe, the oxygen that we get, food, water is essential for our life. As I mentioned, we are primarily made of water. In fact, about 60% of our total mass or our body is water. And some parts of our body actually contain more water than others. You may not know that our brain, for example, is 75% water. And our blood, which is probably easier to understand, is actually 83% water. So water is a critical element to ourselves and our well-being. Some other considerations of why it's so important to our health is that we can't store water for long periods of time. So unlike energy in the form of calories, we can store that. We can store fat. We can store some carbohydrates in our muscles and make them available for the form of energy. But water, on the other hand, we really can't store, and we're constantly losing water through, of course, urination. In the summer, like right now as I'm recording this, it's getting very hot outside, so we perspire more. We're losing water that way. And even through the act of breathing, you lose water. So water vapor. Simply put, we can't live without regular water intake. We can live several weeks without taking in food because of those energy stores that I was talking about, but water, really just a few days without water, and unfortunately we're not able to make it. So water is critical. So let's talk about 10 of the top reasons to drink more water. Water is like the body's transportation system, moving nutrients and energy in and waste products out. It's really controlling that process, the dynamics of our metabolism, if you will, of energy and nutrients in, waste products out. It helps to regulate our body temperature. It's the base of lubrication in our bodies, our joints, the connective tissue, spinal column, muscles. In fact, muscles are primarily water, and that's one of the reasons why men have a larger volume of water than females, because typically males have more muscle mass than females. It helps to keep our skin supple and soft and helps in the production of collagens. So those are the things that keep our skin looking full and supple and soft. It helps create saliva for the digestive process and other functions. It's even important to our immunity from that perspective. It helps prevent constipation. It helps in the absorption of water-soluble nutrients like vitamin C. Helps increase energy and metabolism. We mentioned that water is the primary delivery and transportation system, so it's getting the nutrients in, getting the waste products out, and that's responsible for our metabolism and our energy. Critical for the removal of toxins from the body. So our primary organs like our kidneys and our liver that are related to detoxifying our bodies, water is the critical element that allows those organs to really function well. Finally, helps you to look and feel younger, something that we all want more of. So a question that I often get is, all right, I believe you, I understand that water is really critical to our health and well-being, so how much water do we actually need? We've all probably heard the idea, and I'm just going to call it a myth, that we need 8 glasses of water per day. Well, the truth is I have never found any scientific literature that looks at a rigorous study of an absolute amount of water that human beings need. It's really just a myth that 8 glasses per day. The reality is that we're all different in how much water that we need, and we're all different from one circumstance or condition to another. If it's in the summer and you're outside working hard and there's high humidity, high temperature, and you're perspiring a lot, you're going to be losing a lot more water than if you're sitting at home in the dead of winter and you're not exercising and you're not perspiring. Those are two completely different conditions. So our water needs change. The truth is, the simplest way to tell if you're getting enough water is, it's called the P test. And excuse my directness here, but the truth is, if you look at your urine, if you're getting enough water, your urine should be relatively clear and light colored. If you're not, it's going to be darker in color, and that's a sign that you need to drink more water. So getting 8 glasses a day, that's fine, and that's a reasonable goal to have for a number of different reasons, as far as it does help in those things we've talked about before, those 10 reasons. It can be a great aid in weight control and weight management, drinking water on a regular basis so that you feel full and so forth. But the truth is, we're all different, and you should be consuming enough water so that when you take that P test, again, the urine is light color. So let's say that you're not. What are the signs of mild to moderate dehydration? Well, the first one is thirst. So if you're thirsty, obviously that's your body telling you, I need more water, I need more liquid. One important note, however, though, is that the thirst response itself typically isn't enough to keep us optimally hydrated. So don't just rely on thirst. You need to rely on these other things as well. If you have a dry and sticky mouth, that's a sign of mild dehydration. Not urinating very much, equally a sign. As I've said repeatedly here, darker yellow urine is a sign of dehydration. Having dry, cool skin is another sign. If you have a mild headache, and finally muscle cramps. Cramping, when you get in a position and the muscle contracts involuntarily and you have that cramping sensation, that's often a sign of dehydration. So what drink is best for staying hydrated? To review, hopefully I've made the case of why water is so important, why we need to stay hydrated for all of these important functions of being at our best. So what is it that we should be drinking to stay hydrated? the simple answer here is there's nothing like pure plain water, as you would guess from the title of the presentation. Water really is the best source. So it's not energy drinks. There are a time and place for some energy drinks to replace electrolytes and so forth, but generally speaking, when it comes to good hydration, nothing beats pure, plain, simple water. There's no calories in water. You don't have to worry about weight gain or any of those things. That pure, simple water is what your body is able to process the most efficiently and most effectively to keep you hydrated and keep all those functions that we discussed working properly. So I want to thank you for your attention today in this brief presentation about the importance of water. As we come into the summer months, we know that we have an opportunity to use more water than we do typically, and so it's really important that we take this message to heart and drink more pure, clean water on a regular basis. And as you do that, you'll notice the benefits in more energy, feeling fuller, better looking skin, feeling younger, more vibrant, all of those great things. So I guess my final message is the fountain of youth is actually any water fountain that you see. Make sure that you never pass one up. Okay, thank you so much.